Okay, I'm gonna do some quick tests, make sure everything's working. I'll turn up the music just a tiny bit. I think that should be good. If anyone wants me to turn it up more, let me know. Okay. We're gonna play some games. We're gonna play some shitty games. We're gonna laugh. We're gonna cry. Oof. I'm gonna relax. At least for 2 hours. And let's hope that we can at least finish this first game before we move on to the next one. Energy's low. I am sorry. I did a shoot today. I was an extra for a film. I didn't sign anything, but like I don't want to say the movie until it's like out or closer to being out, and then I can talk about it a bit more. But yeah, it was my first film shoot ever, so that was interesting. It was only 2 days because it was a short film. But like it was Monday night from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. and then today from 8 a.m. to 1. So I'm a little tired, but we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna get frustrated and laugh and have a good time. If my mic stand would cooperate anyway, that would be really nice. Because I'm trying to like laze in my couch as much as possible. But everything's fighting me. So now we know who the Yatagarasu really was. And yet there remains much more to this case that needs to be resolved. Like how the weapons crossed country lines, for example. The two countries have incredibly strict security systems and entry procedures. So short of a miracle, it's impossible for someone to have smuggled them in. Smuggling them in, huh? We will need to open a new line of investigation on just this aspect alone. But before we do, I would like to go through my evidence once more. Hooray! Get rid of shit we don't need. Hey, there's a VCR here, sir! Yes, Gumshoe, good observations. Now we can see what's on that tape Detective Bad gave us. This piece of evidence from the KG8 incident, hidden from sight for 10 long years. I just know that this is related to the current case somehow. Detective Gumshoe, if you could please play the tape for us. Sure thing, sir! Okay, Manny Cochin. With a knife and a card. Fun. This man, it's Manny Cochin. And he's holding a knife in his hand. This looks like footage from a security camera at the entrance of an apartment building. An apartment building? How do you figure that? Unlike you, I actually read the summary file on the KG8 incident. And the crime scene was the victim's own apartment. So this footage was shot at the entrance to the victim's own apartment building. Look, this is just a gripe, I guess, with all visual novels. Gang, if we just read a line, you don't need to have the character internalize that exact same line. I know that's how our brains technically think. But, like, when we're reading this shit, please don't. At the trial, Mr. Faraday claimed that this piece of footage existed. However, no one could find it. Yes, somehow someone was able to steal it and hide it through Mr. Ernest Amano. I can see how this would have been a definitive piece, and why someone would want to hide it. But it's a piece of evidence from a 10-year-old case. There's no way it's related to this case we're working on now, sir. Actually, I believe it has everything to do with the case we're working on now. The ringleader even went so far as to use Mr. Portsman to retrieve it. I can read. Which means that in this video lies a very inconvenient bit of footage to the ringleader. Where? Where? Wait! What was that? Huh? That bit you played just now. Please show it to me again. This car. This is something we cannot overlook. Why is that, sir? My guy. Look here, Detective Gumshoe. Take that. This is the national flag of the Principality of Cadopia. And because it has the national flag on it, we know this to be an official government car. Or it could just be... Then again... Can it just be a fanatic? Like, not a fanatic. That's not the correct word. Can't it be someone from Cadopia living in America or Japanifornia who just wants to show their country pride? Question mark? I should not have eaten that gummy. That was a mistake. I just wanted something sweet. But the question we should be asking ourselves is, what was a government car doing there? Miss Von Karma and Mr. Edgeworth. I almost was confused and thought you were Mr. Von Karma. Oh, I missed that man. So you were here all this time. Hello. Ambassador Alba? Thank you very much for continuing the investigation, even at this time of night. Oh yeah, I never looked at the time. How late? When did this case start this section? Jesus. If only I was even a tiny bit more careful. This tragedy would never have happened. I am truly sorry. How old is Alba? Hold on. Does it tell me? Or is it question marks because this game doesn't want to give ages to people? 72? Dude, you're acting really old for... No. How old were my grandparents when they died? I feel like you don't have to be that. You don't have to be this decrepit unless you're really shitty with taking care of yourself, I guess. This wasn't your fault, sir. This has nothing to do with how careful you were. You idiot, Carcass! You couldn't chase after a simple thief! Now then, let's get down to the real reason why I came looking for you, the two of you. I would like to put the investigation on hold for a while. Can you do that? Excuse me? I heard you've apprehended the thief that turned this embassy upside down. His nose is so weird. It's flat in the tip. And we are in the middle of an event celebrating our country's reconciliation. We can't exactly have the police and detectives walking around here forever. You're scaring the visitors away. Dude, it's the middle of the night. No one should be here. So I hope that you can understand how I feel. But we must finish our investigation and resolve the remaining issues. Why don't we leave the rest of the Alabastion to the Alabastion and Babalese police? Ambassador, we are so close. Just a little more and... Miss Von Karma, I'm afraid I've made up my mind. And without my permission, you can't proceed with your investigation anyway, right? That's true. However, as you said at the very beginning, this area can be considered to be Alabastion soil, in which case we are nothing but foreigners in their land. Is this really where our investigation ends? Shifu, we found Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Oh, you got back here fast, dude. Is your leg okay? Shifu, this way! Yo. Oh, okay. Your glasses weren't on, and now they have to be on. Good for you. Agent Lang, you're back on the scene rather quickly. If I laid back and took a break, I'd lose the scent of my prey, Mr. Prosecutor. Agent Lang, why have you returned? Because I have to solve this case no matter what. Well, I'm sorry to inform you. And don't take this the wrong way. I don't suspect you personally. However, a member of Interpol was just found to be a thief. And so...
Under these circumstances, I wish to put your investigation on hold. After all, I believe our own police can handle things from here. They are all quite capable.
At this rate, our investigation really will come to a close. Hey, don't inherit the laughing from Sheena. Stop that. Ambassador Alba, I get it now. I really do.
Oh, I'm very glad you understand how I feel.
No, not that. What I was talking about is... I know who the killer is behind tonight's murder. You...
No?
The... killer?
Do you really mean that, Agent Lang?
Wolves don't lie. How do you know that, Mr. Man? Mr. Alpha Omega dude? Omegaverse man? How do you know wolves don't lie?
Then who is it?
Well, let me first say that I'm not talking about Mr. Cochin's murder. That was all Sheena. You sure? She said she never killed anyone tonight, but okay. Lang Ji says, the truth lies not at the exit, but rather shines outside the maze itself. What? The truth is unexpectedly simple. Can't we just say use Occam's razor? So let me ask you this. Who do you think was Damask 2's killer? I'll tell you who. It was you, Franziska von Karma. What? What? Are you kidding me right now? I was the killer? What the fuck?
Hey, wait! But that's impossible!
Yeah! Although, that whip is actually quite... Gumshoe, don't! Gumshoe, hold your tongue in that ludicrous remark you were about to make! Agent Lang, are you seriously accusing her of murder? Yeah, I am. Are you buying us time, Lang? He doesn't appear to be joking. Nope, he's not buying us time. Hey, sis, I remember that just before Ambassador Alba went to give his speech, he called you into his office, right? Yes, he did. But what does that have to do with anything? I'm getting to that. Furthermore, in order to solve both cases... Excuse me, I just felt like I was gonna sneeze or burp or something and I needed to fucking deal with that. You moved around rather freely between Alabast and Babal, did you not?
Objection!
And where is your evidence that I am the killer? Oh my god. I was just getting that. Trust me, I'll show them to you in due time. Ambassador Alba, in order for me to bring this case to a close, I need you to inspect your office one more time. Will you grant me permission? With things as they are, I suppose I don't have much of a choice, do I? Good, then let's move out. Oh, and don't even think about running away, sis. My pack will be keeping a close eye on you. You can bet your bottom dollar on it. Huh. As if I would have any reason to flee. But just so we're clear, your logic had better be sound. Because I'll accept nothing short of a perfect explanation. She seemed rather upset. Not that I blame her. I expected that you'd accept no less. But we'll see how long you can keep that nose of yours stuck up in the air like that. Ugh.
Hold it!
Agent Lang, as someone related to tonight's case, I request that you allow me to take part. And so that I may clean up my superior's mess. I guess I should. The more the merrier, especially when it's the peanut gallery.
Oh, in that case, I want to join in too. I still haven't seen what it looks like in Alabast yet.
If you let Kay in, then you gotta let me in too, pal. I can't sit around and do nothing when Miss Von Karma's in trouble.
Hey, Gummy, let's have a competition to see who can save her first, okay?
I hate you, okay?
Okay, I'll take you up on that. Oh yeah, I'm fired up and ready to go.
How old? I forget how old these two are. 32 and... Don't be so chummy with them. As a detective, I don't believe this is something you're supposed to be excited over. Sounds like this is gonna get real interesting. Ambassador Alba, I'll be bringing these kids along for the ride.
Very well. But I'd like you to keep in mind that this will be your last chance.
I'll have this whole mess cleaned up before you know it. Now let's go. Oh god, the stuttering. It does not do well with the longer screens. Oh my god, yeah, it's like midnight. Jesus. Almost 1 in the morning. Oh, these poor bitches have been up all day. Okay now, let's first go over the facts one more time. Manny Cochin's body was found over in the Secretariat's office in Babal. The weapon that took his life was one of Alabast's ornamental knives. Then, the body of Damask II, Mr. Kashi No, was found here in the Alabastian ambassador's office. Through our investigation, we found that the murder weapon was this Primado statue. And that this is actually Babal's statue. This case, no matter how I look at it... Sis! If it wasn't you, then there's no one else who could have pulled this off! Agent Lang, do you understand the full implications of what you are saying? Of course I do, sis. And I'm serious. You were on the trail of the smuggling ring, and you wanted any evidence you could find. And so, while people were distracted by the Yatagarasu's appearances, you snuck in here. That's when you two ran into each other. You and that other thief who took advantage of the confusion from the fire. Even if all that were true, how do you explain the movement of the weapons? Don't worry, I plan to show that you're the culprit behind that too. We had permission to investigate both embassies at will. With that kind of free reign, you could have easily taken the weapons across country lines. Oh! Hey now. Dude, you caught a whip with your hand. You should be bleeding. Look, sis, I thought I already told you I'm not messing around here. This case isn't directly tied to the smuggling ring, but Sheena certainly is tied to the smuggling ring. He is right in saying that she is a member of the smuggling ring. However, the connection between this case and the ring, could it not be deeper than what any of us can imagine? Let's get this ridiculous circus over with already. Franziska, you need to remain calm. Because you only know the facts of the Alabastian side of the case. I don't believe you could see the case as a whole, and therefore solve it. What? But don't worry, I am taking this seriously as well. I will prove your innocence. That's the only way to be, Mr. Prosecutor. But can you come up with anything else that could top my hypothesis? Of course, your explanation has to solve the mystery of the moving weapons as well. Of course, and I will. Let us now delve into the truth behind the murder of Damask II. You do understand, don't you, Miles Edgeworth? This isn't just a confrontation against Agent Lang. If you can't figure out how the murder of Damask II is related to the smuggling ring, then it will mean the end of our investigation. As long as I have no good counter-argument to his hypothesis, then the best I can do is walk this thin tightrope and see what I can do. Come on, Mr. Prosecutor, let's get started. Yes, let's. One of Alabast's knives was used in Babal to murder Mr. Cochin. And the murder weapon in the killing of Damask II is Babal's Primado statue. Somehow these two objects were able to penetrate the two countries in impenetrable security. The only one who traversed the two countries just before and after the crimes was you. Le gasp. So as long as I can't explain how the weapons moved about, Francisco will remain a suspect. You got it, Mr. Prosecutor. So why don't you stop giving me a hard time? Under these circumstances, who the heck can carry a weapon across country lines? I've worked through every possibility, but there's only one that's plausible. Your boss. Agent Lang, what I've learned from you just now is that you've lost sight of yourself.
What are you talking about?
By focusing too intently on that which is in front of us, we become blind to the truth. Don't tell me Lang Ji never said anything to that effect.
You prosecutor. Who do you think you are speaking about Lang Ji's proverbs like that?
I don't need his proverbs, because my words are all you will need to see the truth. This is the one that has the... What was the one that had the handprint on it? I'm pretty sure it was this one. Yeah, the one used as a weapon had Kochin's handprint on it. And Franziska is not wearing... No, she's wearing gloves, but I think this...
Objection!
Agent Lang, those two items are not the only two to cross the border tonight.
I think I need to turn down the TV just a tick.
Oh? Damas too was killed with Babab's Primado statue, yes? But if that's the case, then tell me, where did Alabast's Primado statue go?
To Babal.
Precisely. And if the two statues really were switched, then this means that both statues were smuggled across the border at some point. Which means that a total of 3 items were smuggled across the embassies.
Huh. Guess so. But you know what? Doesn't matter the number of items, only that
the should not be there.
That the sis is the only one who could have done it. Because the only person who went back and forth between Alabast and Babal is her.
Is that really true? Was there no one else who traveled between the two countries? Actually, there was definitely another person. When he paid visits to both sides of the wall.
Objection!
Is that really so, Agent Lang?
What a lousy time to try to and bluff your way out of this. I checked out what the guards said, along with the security camera footage. You're not going to overturn my hypothesis that easily.
Objection!
But suppose there was some other way than through the theater doors.
What other way?
The other entity that managed to cross the border unharmed. If I pointed out, it would open a whole new possibility. And though I hesitate to bring this out, as long as this entity exists, the impossible road becomes a possibility.
Looks like you got some clever idea in mind.
I do, and I can show it to you through a single piece of evidence.
Fine then. Let's see this piece of evidence that will show me this other route.
This piece of evidence will show us another way to move between the two countries. Where is it? There you are. Thanks, Lotta. Agent Lang, I'm sure you are familiar with this unforgettable photo.
That supernatural photo? Like I said before. Humans can't fly.
No, of course not. I understand that perfectly well.
And don't start claiming that Sheena somehow grew wings either.
I wouldn't dream of claiming that.
And I won't allow you to take back what you said either. I'll say it again. It's not humanly possible to fly through the air without wings. So you'd better have a good explanation for this, Mr. Prosecutor.
Edgeworth, why are you freaking out? Like, dude. But how can I prove who it was that flew through the air in this photo? Wait, not humanly possible.
Eureka!
Very well. You will have your explanation.
Sounds like you have a good idea simmering inside that head of yours. Let's hear it. The face hidden within this photo's blurry, trailed shadow is...
It is... this.
Take that!
Naturally, the shadow is the third smuggled object, the Primido statue replica. You can't be serious! The Otagarasu, or rather Callisto Yu, dressed as Agent Sheena, was inside Babal. She dressed the replica statue up in clothes and launched it through the air. What? I'm just giving that line. Nope, I don't feel like shouting long and bleh. You left out a very crucial bit of your explanation. I know I did. She launched it through the air? And how exactly did she do that? I guess I'll do that. Man, he's angry if he's yelling. He is literally baring his fangs at me. But he has a point. How exactly did it move through the air like that? As long as this remains unsolved, we won't be able to move any closer to the truth. Which reminds me, didn't he say this earlier? I'm going to just click. Take the chance to eat a gummy. Fuck. So that just before the murder, Franziska was called here, right into this very room. If that's the case, then that may be another avenue I can pursue. Agent Lang, in order for me to answer that question, I will need to hear testimony from Miss Von Karma. Oh? What are you up to now, pretty boy? Earlier, you mentioned something of interest to me. You said that just before the murder occurred, Miss Von Karma had been in this room because Ambassador Alba had called for her. And for that reason alone, you believe her to be the killer. Yeah, I guess I did say something like that. In that case, I believe it is my duty to ask her what her side of the story is. Do you really think a criminal would tell us the honest truth? How dare you! As I've said numerous times, there is absolutely no proof that I am the killer. Miles Edgeworth, don't tell me you suspect me too. I don't. However, I can't ignore the fact that you were in this room at one point in time. Which is why I would like to hear about it from you. Franziska, I feel that I still don't have enough information. Which is why your testimony is incredibly important to the outcome of this case. Alright. So, what would you like me to talk about? I'd like you to please testify to your movements up until you came into this room. Alright, let's try this your way for a change. But if what she says has to... what she has to say turns out to be a waste of time, I'll place her under arrest faster than you can howl no. I guess it would be no. As you wish. Sorry, another gummy. I haven't eaten a whole ton today. I had some lunch, but it wasn't as filling. As I said earlier, I was assigned to guard duty in the Alabastian embassy. After I saw the Steel Samurai off on his way towards the ambassador's office, I returned to the Rose Garden for a bit and checked out upon the security situation. After all the preparations were in place, I was called back to Ambassador Alba to his office. By Ambassador Alba to his office, I can read. Franziska, I want us to make this clear from the very beginning. So what I wish to confirm is that the only time span in which you were in this office was before the murder occurred. Is that correct? Yes, of course. I see. For now, the only way I can see for us to break out of this situation is to ask Franziska about her testimony in more detail. Right. Get over there. Why?
Hold it!
At that time, Damas 2's body had yet to be found in this room. Is that correct? Sorry, something just itchy on the arm and it hurty a little bit, so just need to scratch for a second. That's right. But Ambassador Alba was here. One could hardly miss his rather large presence. A criminal will say anything to get out of getting arrested. How do we know you're not lying?
Well, if you need proof, I'd be happy to oblige you.
Seriously?
Like I keep telling you, when I arrived at this office, Ambassador Alba was already here. He was standing by the flower box on the windowsill, watering his plants.
I can attest to that. I remember speaking with the lovely lady around that time here in my office. All right then. Add that statement to your testimony and let's hear some details. So Ambassador Alba was in this room at the time, was he?
When I arrived, Ambassador Alba was watering the flowers on the windowsill.
For the sake of being thorough, I'd like to ask you something. How did you know that Ambassador Alba was watering his plants about the windowsill?
What do you mean by that? Are you crazy?
The entrance to this room is on this side. However, the window is on the opposite. No offense, Edgeworth. What? If what you say is true, then you entered this room, his body would have been like a wall. I guess that's fair. He is a broad dude. He would have been blocking your view of what he was doing. Is that not correct?
I suppose it was a bit hard to see around him. But fortunately for me, Ambassador Alba is not an immovable wall. I knocked before I entered, and as I did, he turned around to greet me, with a watering can in his hand. So it's only natural to believe that he was watering his plants, right?
I suppose.
After his greeting, we spent a little time talking about his flowers. He had obtained them himself and is growing them with the utmost care, you know.
Yes, the plants in this room, they're all like my children.
The passion flowers in the flower box on the windowsill are growing beautifully, too. All 4 of them are in full bloom.
Miss Von Karma, what did you say just now?
I said that the flowers are growing beautifully. What about that statement do you not understand?
What do I not understand? I do not understand why a certain thing is in the way it is the way it is. Oh God. Fucking damn it. I'd like for you to append that statement of your testimony.
Very well.
There were 4 large passion flowers in full bloom in the flower box. God, why am I dying?
Oh no.
Objection!
A number discrepancy.
Franziska, for some odd reason, your testimony contradicts with this piece of evidence. It does appear that way. I knew it. I knew we couldn't trust your word, sis.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you doing discrediting Miss Von Karma like this?
Yes, sir. If you keep this up, she's gonna be taken away, sir. Oh, all I have done is state what I saw. I have not made a single mistake in my testimony. And for this, I'm still under suspicion for murder. Is the number of flowers really all that important at this juncture, Miles? At the very least, it is a contradiction in this enigmatic case. One that I find hard to dismiss as irrelevant. Huh. Well, let's hear it, Mr. Prosecutor. What does the number of flowers have to do with anything? What does it prove? I believe the answer to that will become clear if we were to examine that flower box. How did this contradiction come about? There must be something behind this discrepancy. They're my beloved flowers. I've grown them with the utmost care. So I ask that you please be gentle with them as you examine them, Mr. Edgeworth. I understand. This patch of soil looks as though it had something removed from it. Huh, what are you doing, Mr. Prosecutor? Why'd you clam up all of a sudden? I'm still here waiting for an explanation, you know. Did you know, Agent Lang, flowers are best appreciated in silence? It's like 2 things were pulled out of this flower box. The name of these flowers, I believe they're called passion flowers? Despite being called flowers, they are actually a species of vine. They appear to be growing well and are well supported by these plant supports. Yeah, but no matter how I look at it, it looks like there are only two of them here, two here to me. You realize, don't you, sis? Your little lie has failed you.
Miles Edgeworth! Hurry up and shut this man up for me already.
I suppose I will need to use some evidence to shut him up, won't I?
Can I? I mean, I guess I have to.
I believe I've just the piece of evidence you require. Oh, you do you? You have such confidence in the face of your current plight, but I highly doubt it'll last until the end. You howl like a wolf, Agent Lang, but we'll see if you have any bite to back up that bark after you see the evidence. The truth the passion flowers reveal can be seen in this piece of evidence. I assume it's these things, yeah.
Take that!
Sheena, who was supposedly in Babal the entire time, had these hair sticks on her that look exactly like the plant supports in this flower box. In other words, I believe it can be said that these hair sticks are in actuality support sticks for the passion flowers. So what? Is this really all that important to the case? Of course it is. It means that we found yet another item that was smuggled between the two countries. Yeah. Think about it logically, Agent Lang. These sticks were originally in Alabast. But somehow they wound up in Sheena's hands, who was in Babal the whole night. So make no mistake, these sticks were smuggled somehow, just like the knife and the statue. Very well then. I want to hear from you exactly how they wound up in Babal. How did these support sticks find their way to Babal and why? There must be some reasons to how they ended up there. So that's why. Agent Lang, if you would please take a look at this and tell me its shape. It's just another stick, isn't it? And so it is. But the shape of the support sticks is what is important. For when they are used with something in this room, that's when it all comes into focus. I don't understand why this isn't just a piece of evidence that we picked up, honestly. And the object that completes the picture when used with the support sticks is... That's a crossbow. Wait, you're not really suggesting... I am. These hair sticks, or rather plant support sticks, they make for perfect arrows. I mean, do they? They don't have any fletching on them. And it's like, I don't know. I've done it. I found the common thread that connects the two offices. But this thread is yet to be completely untangled. Even using the arrows, how does this explain how the statues were transported? Furthermore, who could have been who fired these sticks as arrows? There must be a common thread that ties all of these things together. Mr. Prosecutor, hold up for a second. You do realize what happens when you tie a statue to an arrow, right? They don't fly at all. Okay. Obviously, sir. So Babal's statue was draped in the Yatagarasu's clothes and then shot over here? Even if you fired the arrows from this side, they wouldn't go far with a statue tied to them. I don't think I need to tell you that the Primido statue just didn't sprout wings. You're a realist after all, aren't you? The Primido statues didn't sprout wings. Do you think I'm stupid? Of course they didn't. Glad you understand. Feel much better already. I was afraid for a second that you were unaware of that crucial fact. It's only crucial because you're under the belief that wings are necessary to this equation. What? You need to free your mind a bit more and let it fly like a bird on the wind. The Primido statues flew, but not on a wing. Allow me a bit of your time and I'll explain this mysterious phenomenon to you. Oh man, I'm more tired than I thought. Like, I'm not going to stop the stream or anything, but Jesus. Then again, just physically tired, emotionally tired, spiritually tired.
Hold it!
But we are in agreement that an arrow by itself would reach the other side, correct? But just the arrow by itself is pretty meaningless, don't you think, Mr. Prosecutor? Because the things they wanted to smuggle were a lot bigger than nothing. No, that's not necessarily true. What? What I need right now is not further discussion of my conclusions. It's the launching of my conclusion. What? Okay. What the shooter wanted to launch with the crossbow was not the statues themselves, but rather something a crossbow can launch that can be used to move the statues. If it wasn't a statue that was tied to the arrows, then what did the crossbow launch?
It was this.
Objection!
Wow. Logic.
Finally. Finally, we have reached this point in our discussion. For I present to you that which was carried by the arrow from the crossbow. I get it now, Mr. Prosecutor. I can see exactly what you're trying to say. You're saying that the wire was tied to an arrow then shot into Mr. Cochin's office. All the way from the 5th floor of the Alabastian Embassy down to the 3rd floor of the Bobolese Embassy. If what you're claiming is really what happened, I can see how Alabast's Primado statue could be moved. Gravity could be used to move the statue down the wire from the 5th to the 3rd floor. But then what about Babal's Primado statue? The dark shadow in this photo is clearly flying away from Babal. Going the opposite way of gravity from the 3rd floor of the Bobolese Embassy up to the 5th floor of the Alabastian Embassy. How do you explain that? Dude, do you not know simple, like, rope mechanic? Like, you grab something for it to wrap around and you create, like, a fucking clothesline. Not a clothesline, because that's still one straight line. Well, some clotheslines are like this. You know, something you can wheel out. I know it. I finally see how the gears behind this whole trick work. Agent Lang, the motion used behind this trick. I wonder if perhaps you have yet to envision how it works in your head. Motion? What motion? This is the motion that was employed to smuggle Babal's Primado statue. Swinging bungee. I believe it was done via rotary motion. If the two statues were transported simultaneously... Simultaneously? Get real! The statues would collide somewhere along the way! Did I ever say that there was only one line of wire between the two offices? If you shot an arrow with the two ends of a wire tied to it, a circular belt can be formed. Like G says, don't object and call a success what is beyond reasonable. Blech. Taking into account the tension difference between the two wires. The top one would snag too much to the point where the statues wouldn't collide anyway. Agent Lang. As you know, the Primado statue is a one-of-a-kind national treasure. And the fact that Babal statue is a hollow replica of the real statue, it would naturally be lighter than the real one, meaning that my idea is very possible. Lang Ji says, Awu! Awu! Here is what I believe happened. Monsieur... Oh, just a second. Shit, sorry. Whew. Monsieur and her mystery co-conspirator set themselves up in two different rooms. The co-conspirator bridged the rooms by shooting the two ends of the wire down on one arrow. Then the two of them covered the statues and proceeded to transport the statues. So I've said statue so many times. After the switch was complete, another arrow was fired, carrying the other end of the wire down to Babal where it was to be disposed of. And to do that, Miss Yu hid it inside the grandfather clock. QED. What does that mean? Hold on, I'm Googling that. QED, the fuck? QED.
Used to say that something such as a particular fact or a logical statement proves that you were trying... proves what you were trying to prove. Okay. I don't know why it's abbreviated to QED, but whatever. It's probably Latin or some shit. Huh. This proves it, right, Agent Lang? That I'm not the killer.
Not yet, sis. I still haven't had my dessert yet. Right, Mr. Prosecutor? The proof is in the pudding, as it were. Pudding is a nice dessert. So, what do you think you can do? Wait, so do you think you can do it? Can you prove that what you said is what happened? Because remember, if you can't, I'll be taking a certain someone back home with me as a souvenir.
I agree that as long as there is no proof, my hypothesis remains just that. However, what I have laid out is no more hypothesis, for there is one more piece of evidence.
One more. This should be interesting. Think you have a piece of evidence that will turn your hypothesis into fact? Well then, let's see it, Mr. Prosecutor.
Thing that made it possible to create a circular belt out of a length of wire. I believe that is right here in this very room. I believe this is what made the circular belt transportation method possible. My goodness, my back is so fucking itchy. Duh.
Looks like you dropped another bomb on us again.
The last piece of the trick are 2 pulleys. Yeah, that's how my guys, that's how that fucking works. You can't just make a rotary system with just the wires. You need pulleys, you fucking idiots. Jesus.
Precisely. The ceiling fans double as pulleys in this case. And thanks to the fact that there is one installed in each of the offices, the ceiling fans made for the perfect pulley set of for the wire to run on.
Awoo! Awoo!
This must be it. This is how the smugglers bypass the impenetrable security. You really are something else, Mr. Prosecutor. I bet you figured it all out already, haven't you? You know who the big hotshot that set up this real-life stage show is, don't you?
The person who set up this rather large and complex stage show needs to be someone who had foreknowledge of the existence of a ceiling fan in both the Alabastian and Bobbly's offices, and that the passion flower support stakes could be used as arrows. The real mastermind behind this case.
Well, don't you dare make this wolf wait for his food!
Why are you so hesitant, Miles Edgeworth? If you can't say who it is, why don't you present something like you always do? A single point of the finger here, and this case will explode into an international incident. However, it's already too late for me to stop the forward momentum. It appears that I have no choice now but to rush in. There is a piece of evidence that will point us to who the mysterious mastermind is.
Take that!
This smuggling could not have been possible without the use of the crossbow. Furthermore, the arrows that were shot by the crossbow were plucked, as it were, from the flower box in this very room. They were planted so long ago that the passion flowers had the time to grow so big that Miss Von Karma didn't even notice the arrows when she visited this room today. On top of all this, the fact that the culprit knew that both offices had ceiling fans tells us that this person has very detailed information on the embassy's layout. So as you may have already guessed, the person I am accusing of hatching this plan is the person who grew the flowers in the flower box with the utmost care. Thus it can only be you, Kirkus Alba!
Are you out of your mind, Miles Edgeworth?
I'm certain of what I'm saying, and I'm sure that he is the culprit.
Tell me, Mr. Prosecutor, what was the embassy trying to accomplish by doing all that stuff you just outlined?
Or the ambassador, not the embassy.
Why in the world would he need to use a trick like that? I understand your need to doubt me. However, there is one thing that stands out to me as very odd. Just one thing, huh? The one single end result Ambassador Alba sought to obtain. If we were to examine the focus of this complex trick, I believe we will finally find the answer to everything. Everything will become clear once we examine this piece of evidence. Get it. Oh yeah, because it's like hollow. I would fully understand the reasoning had the situation been the reverse. However, to go through the trouble of swapping the real Primido statue for the fake, I sense a very shady reason for such a bizarre action. And who better to ask for that reason than King Primido himself? You see, Ambassador, we'll be examining that statue now, with or without your permission.
Alba being quiet. Hello.
This guy kind of looks like the Steel Samurai, don't you think? Maybe it's because they look alike that he was picked to be the Goodwill Ambassador.
I suppose that's possible. Take a look at this area around the base of his neck. Looks like a gap.
Hey, you're right! Maybe it's meant to be some kind of secret.
Perhaps it's possible to open the statue from this gap in its construction.
What? Hurry up and open it, Miles!
Alright, here goes.
The plates!
Wow, it really did open up. Hey, what's this thing that fell out?
I believe a more thorough examination of it is required. What is this?
Hey! Is that what I think it is?
It's a plate for making counterfeit bills. Somehow, it appears that we've at long last arrived at the exit to this complex labyrinth. It's not the end, Edgeworth. We finally hold within our hands one of the counterfeit money plates, and the reason why the replica was smuggled into Alabast to begin with. Sorry, just a second. Oh my god. My brain. The Primido statue can only be handled by the ambassador or the secretariat, and the replica is nothing more than a hollow shell covered in gold. These two circumstances make the statue the ideal object in which to hide contraband. After receiving the statue containing the counterfeit plate from Sheena, the ambassador had the misfortune of accidentally running into Damask II. Surprised by the thief, the ambassador raised the replica statue at Damask II and... Then, in order to frame the steel samurai of the murder, he covered the samurai sword in blood. Well, Ambassador Alba? Oh, okay. You're the leader of the smuggling ring? My country is a mess, and it's all because of you? You're the one who killed Damask too? Answer us! I never thought that you would figure things out to this level. However, there is one point I disagree with you on. The head of the smuggling ring was Mr. Cochin. Quit screwing around! I have no sympathy for someone who would try to pass the guilt onto a dead man. There is one thing I'm sure of, is that you're the real ringleader, Kirkus Alba. It's not good to speak with subjectivity, you know, Agent Lang. Subjectivity? My conclusion is anything but, and is the result of logic and investigation. Logic and investigation? Only seconds ago, you were ready to arrest Miss Von Karma. I don't think we can give such flip-floppy logic any real weight, do you? Yeah, it's coming to bite you hard in the ass, huh? It looks like you still don't get why I came back.
Excuse me?
You see, the reason I came back is so that I could sink my fangs into your wrinkly old neck. From the very beginning, my real target has been you.
What?
Agent Lang, I demand an explanation! Sorry, sis. I didn't mean to put you through all that. I knew you were innocent from the very beginning.
You did? Good, I think.
I knew that this whole incident has been meticulously planned and prepared for. So naturally, the occupant of this room, Ambassador Alba, seemed the most suspicious. But without the ambassador's permission, we wouldn't get in to take another look around. Ah, so that's why you were putting on this big show to accuse Francisca of the murder. Using Francisca as the bait, you were able to gain us entry and investigative rights. Yeah, if I hadn't done that, I doubt the ambassador would have given the okay to poke around.
So that's what all this was about. Very well, I will forgive you. But in exchange for using me as bait, you will take some responsibility and help us find the truth.
Agent Lang, for giving me such a great opening, I thank you. You know, I just knew, Mr. Prosecutor, that somehow if we were able to find some proof by investigating this room, then you would be able to figure out the real culprit with your special brand of logic. Thank you, it's all I have. The evidence detectives collect combined with the logic of a prosecutor. That's just as it should be in a prosecutor-detective team, right? I don't know about all that. Jesus. One thing I do know is that I'm itching to see that old man get what's coming to him.
Oh, you're quite scary when you want to be, aren't you?
Hey, you're the one who was planning to use me to push all the guilt onto Sis. But unfortunately for you, you misjudged me.
Agent Lang, I wish for you to stop trying to intimidate me. What we need right now is evidence and proof. I wonder if you have what is necessary to prove that I am the head of the smuggling ring.
Objection!
Don't be such a sore loser! Francisca. Hello, pot. I am kettle. You are black. If you really are the head of the smuggling ring, then you shall acknowledge your crimes with dignity.
Dignity? That is nothing more than a fool's insincere display of strength. If you really wish for me to acknowledge my crimes,
if you want me to acknowledge my crimes, that's acknowledging your crimes. Just saying.
Then I would like to first see some of the thing you call evidence. I tell you, I knew nothing, really. I didn't even know that a counterfeit plate was hidden inside that statue.
You swapped a real statue that vested... Whoa, what the fuck? You swapped a real statue that vested in your country the authority to rule for a fake. Doesn't make any sense that you didn't know anything.
It doesn't make sense? Where doesn't it make sense? Can you prove that it doesn't make sense?
Oh, this game. It's so hard because it's like a part of me has to wonder, is it actually a localization issue? And like translating some of this dialogue into English is just hard? Or is it this bad? I want to say it's the latter, it's just that bad, but I always have to wonder. He's really got us. He's turned the entire situation around against us. The proof that Interpol has been after, which points to this man as the ringleader. If we can somehow find that proof now, then we can see to it that justice is finally served. Is there nothing I can use to break this case wide open? The trump card and the videotape. With those two items, we might be able to finally bring this man down. But the card is evidence from a case that Mr. Faraday hid away in secret. And the tape was stolen by Detective Bad from the police. They're both illegal evidence. No matter what, a prosecutor of the law can't be allowed to use such pieces of evidence. This flashback, I'm not gonna read it. Well, I dropped my controller. I no longer follow the path of Manfred von Karma. And I won't follow the path of the Yatagarasu. This leaves me with what? What creed will I believe in? If I want to pursue the truth, then I will sully my hands in illegality. And if I want to pursue justice, then I will lose the truth. What is the law? And what is justice? And which path is a prosecutor supposed to follow? That choice is one I must make by my own hands.
I can't remember. I don't think this choice matters if I remember right. Because I'll have to... Edgeworth talked to, like, Bad earlier about how, like, we still need to follow the law and no one's above it and whatever, so I'm just gonna... I'm gonna do this first. I think it's worth saving over, honestly. Because that'll be a long ways to go back. And if anything, I'll get a unique bad ending. I am a prosecutor. And I cannot allow myself to use evidence such as these.
Mr. Edgeworth, if you don't do something, Ambassador Alba is going to get away with it.
I know, but...
Objection!
What are you holding back for? The only thing a Von Karma should pursue is the perfect proof. If you really do have what it takes to complete our argument, then there is absolutely no reason not to use it. Lang Ji says, the reason people judge people is because people are people. People weren't born to be chained to the law. Laws were born to protect the people. You're the only one here right now who can put this guy out to pasture. And that is the only way a second or a third generation of Zhang Fa's people will be born. Can you really still hesitate knowing the fate of a nation rests in your hands? There is no limit to the law. Any limit that exists was set there by man. What? When a person goes beyond that limit, then the law too crosses into new territory. For what reasons were laws invented? The answer to that is what I must now show. Ambassador Alba, I wonder if you might recognize this.
Oh, I wonder what that card is. I've never seen that before in my life.
It's a directives card used by the leader of the ring to relay instructions to his subordinates.
Oh? Is that what it is?
This card was sent to the real culprit behind the KG8 incident 10 years ago. A man by the name of Mr. Manny Cochin.
Oh, so why do you have such a card in your possession?
Because it was hand-delivered to me by a certain great thief, the Yatagarasu.
The Yatagarasu gave that to you? Don't talk nonsense and let's be serious, Mr. Edgeworth. Do you have any proof that the card contains directions from the ringleader?
I'll have you know that the card is not the only thing I was given.
What?
This contains security footage that was shot just before the start of the KG8 incident.
The KG8 incident?
The card and the video. These two pieces of evidence are what will seal your fate. Very interesting. I must admit, I am very curious now. Very curious indeed in these case-deciding pieces of evidence you've presented. The prey the Otogarasu has been chasing all this time now stands before me. I can't allow this man who has had free reign for 10 long years to simply walk away. Now is the time for me to bring to fruition the valiant spirit that was given to me. Oh, we moved downstairs. So what is this interesting thing that you wanted to show me and you had to show... Oh, I guess they wanted the VCR, that's why. The trump card and the videotape. These two pieces of evidence together make for the ultimate hand. And this is where the real meaning behind Detective Bad's words will be realized. Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir! What you see here is security footage shot just before the KG-8 murder occurred. From this footage, we know that the card is a directives card from the smuggling ring. This is the section that proves that the card was used to relay an order. Really? Are we sure? Oh, what? As you can see, Mr. Cochin is holding the card in his right hand. And that is the proof of why this was used to direct someone, and not just simply like a Christmas card or something. I see. The killer is indeed holding a card with the exact same design on it. But that card and the one you have, just because they look the same, doesn't mean that they are, does it now? Ah, but there's a very easy way for me to prove that they are in fact one and the same. All we have to do is simply take a look, excuse me, at this. This dark red blood. Yes, this is your proof. Proof that the orders on this card were played out in that terrible tragedy. The blood belonged to the victim of the... Oh, Jesus, I just stabbed my own eye, scratching my nose. Jesus, ow. I stabbed it good, yeah. The blood belonged to the victim of the KG-8 incident. With a bit of DNA testing, we can very easily verify that as fact. If you have no objections, then I would like for you to take a look at the next piece of footage. This car that passed by in front of the victim's apartment building. It's an official Cadopian government car. What? Detective Gumshoe, if you could please magnify the footage. We can do that? With a VCR that was brought in... What? This area of the footage directly links the smuggling ring to Cadopia. God, I hate this case. I hate it. Like, I don't mind Ace Attorney, like, zooming in on shit in videos. Like, oh, we can enhance the image. Or, hey, we can isolate the sound. But, like, in this moment, it's like, we're not in court. And we're not using specialized equipment. This is a VCR left by a fucking television agency to play episodes of The Steel Samurai. What the fuck? It's just ridiculous.
Take
that! The shape of this pocket and the directive card in it tells us that without a doubt this person in this car is Mr. Cochin, and it's... Okay, I mean, like, yeah, in shadow and on shitty VCR tapes, but still, like, The license plate on the car was also captured by the security camera. And with it, we can easily find out who was sitting in this car on that day 10 years ago. Which is why I can say with confidence that you were riding in this car on that day. Oh! Oh! He grew! He grew! Where'd your, like, half your wrinkles go? And also his poor cane. That was so well constructed, dude. You didn't have to do that. You've done well, boy, to make it this far. However, about your claim that I was riding in the car at the time. I feel like an old man voice isn't perfect for him, but this will have to do. Whatever I'm doing here. That's going to be mighty difficult to prove. How so? The Principality of Cadopia no longer exists. So naturally, all records from that time period also no longer exist. I guess that could be true. Weird. That's arrogance. What he really means is that he's already erased all traces of them. Are we finished here, boy? The only weapon I have left to me now is this piece of footage. There must be something here that I can use against him. Thanks for letting us see your medals. What the? Ambassador Alba! Yes, what is it? You were once an army man in the service at Cadopia. And it was you. Wait, how did you know he was an army man? I don't remember them ever mentioning an army man thing. Am I crazy? I feel a little crazy. And it was you who made the the many missions you participated in successes, correct? Why the sudden backhanded praises, boy? Although, to be sure, the brilliant medals on my breast were awarded to me during the era of Cadopia. But now I am the only one who owns this particular medal. In that case, the only person it could be who is sitting in this car is you! You dumbass! How do you figure that? By the medal captured here in this footage. It is clearly the exact same medal as the one on your chest! What? Whoa. Where'd your skin go? Are you okay? Are you a soulless husk? Oh, it's back. This is how it will be, but I won't look back, for this is the path that I have chosen. I can't let. Wow, what body? What was that? Why was it all stuck in my throat? Oh my god, I'm struggling. I have been out in the cold all morning. It was like 20 degrees out there when I was filming part of this film. Filming this film. Oh, fuck. You've moved me with your devotion to this case, Mr. Edgeworth. Why is he taking such an arrogant stance with me? It's almost looking possible, isn't it? There we go. For the lot of you to have come this far. It looks like I just might lose our little game this time. You might lose the game this time? You don't get another round, Mr. Ambassador! Is that a fact? Very well. I've decided to confess and admit my guilt. You're going to confess? And I will accept whatever punishment that may come as a result. What the? Regarding the Damask II murder, I admit it. I did it out of self-defense. You're claiming it was justified self-defense? Damask II attacked me. Oh, what is wrong with his teeth? I just looked at those fucking things and those, immediate creep out. And I felt that my life was in danger. If I hadn't done what I did, I might be the one you found dead instead of him. What a pathetic performance. I'm not giving you one.
Wow, you two really know how to laugh at inappropriate times.
Shut up, Kay. If you wish to claim it was justified self-defense, then we will need some evidence. It's always the... You motherfucker. You were asking us the exact same shit. Like 10 minutes ago. Fuck you. It's always the evidence with you, isn't it? But if that's what you require, I'll provide it. That man left a mark on me when he attacked. What? I don't particularly want to show it off, but this is proof that it was in self-defense.
I know, like, that's probably a big wound, but did it really need the bandages that way? I don't know. I'm an old man, and sometimes I don't pay enough attention when I should. But Damask 2 didn't have a single weapon. But Damask 2 didn't have a single weapon on his body. Hold on. It's nothing to get worked up over because I hid the weapon. You hid it? The fuck? I'm sorry, but as you know, a murder is a murder, even if it's in self-defense. And I couldn't let it become public, seeing as how I am an ambassador. This is the weapon you seek. My special bonsai trimming shears. How'd he get it? How'd Damask get it? How? I need a whole thing in a rundown, like, real fast.
It's covered in blood.
He was trembling quite badly during our struggle. But that's when he grabbed the shears that were sitting in my office and attacked. So you see, it was an act of self-defense.
Is he right, Mr. Edgeworth?
Since he has both a wound and the weapon that caused it, it's enough to declare it so.
No way!
Oh, which reminds me, I guess there is still one more accusation I need to resolve. Smuggling and counterfeiting. Unfortunately, all of that is my secretary's doing. I had no knowledge of it was going on. If you had no knowledge it was going on, how do you know it was your secretary? I mean, I guess he's the only one who can handle the statues. I think that's the logic he's going to use, but still. Stop spewing nonsense. You're trying to throw my investigation under the bus in your desperation. If you want to get real honest, everything in this case can be connected to you. The murder of Damask 2 was done in self-defense? In my trials, no man escapes his crimes alive. Perhaps so, if you were my opponent in court. However, there is one very important fact that I think you may have forgotten. And what is that? Oh. That's what you mean? Extraterritoriality? What? Oh my god. Extraterritoriality. Extraterritoriality. Okay. That's right. This embassy sits on what is effectively Alabastian soil. So any trials that is to be held will be held in Alabast. Therefore, the crime I just admitted to will never be tried in your courts. Agent Lang, what is Interpol's stance on this? Agent, investigate. That's our job. The judgment of people who have confessed to their crime, that's the court's job. And I've already confessed to all of my crimes, Agent Lang. Furthermore, by the very nature of my position, I have full extraterritorial rights. These rights are effective, even on your country's soil. Therefore, okay, I need to, like, someday study extraterritorial rights, if that's even, like, actually a thing. Because I swear we've had cases where, like, we're still, like, we send some people home to their own countries for trial for one reason or another. But I feel like under the same case, like, some similar cases still are tried by, like, the people that are there. Is that something that's then because it's just because he's an ambassador is why he has extraterritorial rights and that's it? I don't know. No matter where a crime may take place, I will never stand trial in one of your courts. That arrogance in your expression. That's nothing like the face of someone who's ready to accept the consequences. Don't tell me you have your own country's judicial system eating right out of your hands. These crimes you all speak so seriously of? To me, this has all been nothing more than a game. You may chase me out of this embassy with your accusations, but it's no big deal. Alabast has numerous other embassies in other countries around the world. All you would accomplish is you would change the backdrop of our little game. I hate this so much. I fucking hate. I forgot that this is gonna just remind me a little bit more of all the bullshit of today, but that's... It is what it is. Honestly. Fuck me. These 2 layers of protection that extraterritoriality provides. This is why he is one of those who cannot be brought to court. You see now, don't you? I live in a whole different world than you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go and fetch your eviction note papers. Oh, okay. We're getting evicted. Oh, no. Is there nothing we can do? Oh, okay. Now, I can't remember. I think... Because I'm gonna keep going. I have an hour, but... Yeah, I'm... Shite. I'm not gonna complete the game this stream either. Fuck me. It's fine. Not really. We'll see how far I can even get in this next bit. My god. Oh well. It's 2 in the morning. Oh my god. I can't believe it, sir! Extraterritoriality! I'm surprised you could say that, Gumshoe. Good job. Yes, and there is nothing we can really do about that. In the end, we didn't have enough authority to bring him to justice.
I can't believe that even though we know he's the boss, we can't lay a finger on him.
I know. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Sorry to skip out on you, but I got some business to take care of.
If we can't give an evil guy like him a slap on the wrist, then what the heck were laws created for? What good are they? If the law can't help us, then I'll go as the Atagarasu and take care of this myself.
Don't you dare! Mr. Edgeworth. Sorry, that was a bit too harsh. I know how you feel, sir. We're trying to take on an ambassador, after all. And he did tell us earlier to get out of the theater. This is kind of their country, I guess. But I feel like I've been slapped across the face for just doing my job. What am I going to do? Should I retreat for now and formulate a better plan of attack?
Come on, everyone. We can't give up yet.
Okay.
I want you to think about something for a sec. We've never let up for even a second, and as long as we don't stop investigating, we might find the rotten treasure hidden here.
She's right!
Come on, Mr. Edgeworth.
You're right, Kay. Very well. Let's just reopen the investigation and see what we find. Come on, Kay.
Right behind you.
Okay, then I'll go check out Babal a bit more, sir. And I have something that I need to investigate further in Alabast. Good luck. Don't get evicted too early, Franziska. Now then. Before I gather any more information, I should do a bit of housekeeping. Ambassador Alba seemed agitated over something. I wonder why. There are 2 special circumstances that surround the ambassador. First, the embassy itself has extraterritorial rights. If something happens on an Albastian soil, we are unable to legally prosecute him.
Cool. Sounds like embassies are the perfect place to steal whatever you want.
And Murder Damask 2 run a smuggling operation and make counterfeit bills, apparently.
But I thought all the counterfeiting was done by Mr. Cochin and Babal.
Yes, he apparently used the embassy's coupon printing press to do it. But it's the same story over there anyway. Babal also has extraterritorial rights. Which brings me to my next point. The ambassador's extraterritorial rights. Those rights are effective even in our own country.
Really?
No matter what happens, he can never be tried in our courts. He retains some very special rights indeed. Basically, no matter what wrongs he may commit, we can't bring him to trial here.
So I guess we really don't stand a chance, do we?
We might stand a chance if we can somehow nullify either one of his special rights. This was taken just before the two ambassadors gave their bouquets to the Steel Samurai. Wait, is it just my imagination? Or is there something in this picture that I've seen before? It appears to be a bouquet of Persian... What? Persian... cyclamens? And roses.
Wow, you even know the exact species? I never would have figured you for an expert on flowers.
Ugh. It's all because of those flowers that old lady sends me every month. Just look at me, I sound like some sort of botanist.
So, what exactly is this yellow flower here?
Which one? I'm not sure.
What? You don't know?
As far as I can recall, I've never seen a flower like this before. But I feel as though I've seen this shape somewhere before. Do I deduce it? I think I can do... Yeah, I mean, why not? Babal's national symbol is the butterfly, and Alabas is the flower. It would appear that someone is employing the old hide a tree in a forest trick.
What are you mumbling to yourself about? Wait, what? The handle of this knife? Oh!
Yes, it's the handle that was supposed to be on the blade that killed Mr. Cochin. The weapon that killed him was carried through the Theatrum Neutralis. And the very bouquet Ambassador Alba was carrying. The flower motif. It looks like one of the flower petals is missing.
Oh, and take a look at that weapon itself. It's missing the exact same petal.
Then the knife in this photo is most definitely the same as this murder weapon. Is there anything else I can look at in this? I don't think so, really. I hit the B button. Oh, I hit the A button that time. Okay.
Mr. Polano has a really great smile, don't you think? I bet he was really happy that they were going to become Cadopia again.
Perhaps. But instead he became the greatest victim in today's case. An ambassador like him who is always thinking of his country is really to be admired.
Yeah, although this happened, I hope they'll be able to reunite the country someday.
I hope so as well. But for that to happen, we need to solve this case first. We need to see to it that those who would harm the new Cadopia are locked away.
And we will!
Shit, I actually don't see anything else, so I better just finish looking at this thing. Oh. Maybe not. Okay. There's other shit I can look at then. Flowers were sent by a variety of people and businesses to celebrate the Goodwill event. Even the Steel Samurai received some flowers from the ambassadors.
There's so many bouquets here, it's like a wedding ceremony.
I believe the flowers for those are for a slightly different reason. No shit, dude!
What do you mean? This event was supposed to be like a wedding between Alabasta and Babul, right?
Actually, I believe they're more in a state of divorce.
Okay then, this event was supposed to be their remarriage ceremony.
I suppose you could call it that. What else do you want me to look? I guess I got logic. Really? I don't think so. Can't go that way. Hi. Hello, and welcome to the embassy of Babal. I'm sorry, but I don't really need to enter your country at this time. Right now, for a limited time here at the Babalese embassy, we're offering the very special Experience the Terrifying Fire's Ashes tour. So how about it? Shall I sign you up? We're fine, thanks. We have an investigation to run. These flowers were sent by Global Studios.
Global Studios?
That's where they filmed the Steel Samurai television show. They have been producing hit after hit recently, so the studio is being remodeled.
Oh, I read about that in the papers the other day. That mascot of theirs is also getting a facelift too, right? What's its name?
You mean Mrs. Monkey?
Yeah, I thought it was something like that.
You really have a great memory. I feel like I've read this before. Hold on, I'm just gonna stop. Okay. Really? Okay. How does that fit together? Okay. We know that the counterfeit bills were printed using the embassy's printing press. Oh my god. We know... But the necessary materials, such as the Bobbley's ink and paper, must have been hidden in a secure location. What do you think would have happened if the renovation had begun?
Well, he probably had to find a better hiding place to get rid of it all.
That's how it works, okay. Right, so we can assume that the renovation was the cause of the plate and bill's disposal. And the reason Mr. Cochin was killed as the ringleader of the smuggling operation. Based on what we know, who do you think was the one with the most gain? It's the only one person who has been erasing all evidence of the smuggling operation. From both embassies, the co-conspirator who is mopping up, Ambassador Alba. Ambassador Alba had a very strong motive to kill Manny Cochin. I got a text for a second. Oh, did I? Shit. The cause of Ambassador Alba's agitation, the rotten treasure we may find, and the motive for killing Mr. Cochin. Miss Yu said it herself that she didn't kill anyone tonight. If we were to take her words at face value, and the reason for the ambassador's nervousness can only be one thing. He didn't want us to discover the real circumstances under which Mr. Cochin was killed.
Then you mean Ambassador Alba is the real killer? But I thought the two of them were friends.
Maybe they were. But what if Mr. Cochin was the one who first betrayed their friendship?
Oh, I get it. Wasn't Mr. Cochin pushing really hard for the Mr. Polano to be ambassador after their reunification?
Yes, and that was the real reason why he wanted to steal Alabast's Primado statue.
So Mr. Cochin hired Damask too to go steal it for him. But when Ambassador Alba found out what he was up to, he killed Mr. Cochin?
It is definitely a possibility at this point.
Those two really were thinking of no one but themselves. The question now is, how did he do it? Ambassador Alba was in Alabast, but Mr. Cochin's body was discovered in Babal, right?
Right, and that is what we must solve next. I believe we now understand why Ambassador Alba was so nervous and agitated. It must have something to do with where Mr. Cochin was killed. A place where the Alabastian ambassador was likely to meet the Babalese Mr. Cochin. The place where Ambassador Alba happened to have committed the murder is probably right in here, I think. Yeah.
Take that!
The only place that makes sense is here, at the Theatrum Neutralis.
What? Here?
The Goodwill event was being held here today, correct? So the only place that the both of them would have been is in here.
But if that's the case, then everything changes. This theater isn't actually Alabastian land. So that wipes out one of those extraterritorial rights he has.
It makes logical sense, in which case it is a reason for us to investigate further.
So what should we check out?
Let's see. I believe we should check the immigration records for both Alabast and Babal post-haste. Babal's records should be easy to obtain. However, the problem will be Alabast. I wonder if they would allow us to see their records despite the order to vacate.
Objection!
I'm on it, Miles. I'm already one step ahead of you, Miles Edgeworth. Franziska. I have here the security footage from both Alabast and Babal. You would do well to look at its contents. I will look at these contents. Uh-huh. Good. Hello? Hello? Oh, and that's Bubble. And Bubble has dick going on. Sorry, it's interesting to see both sides of the wall in a sense. Hey, that didn't use the butterfly motif. It's using the flower motif. Stop that, Bubble poster. Okay. You move fast. Von Karma strives to be perfect in every way. It's not in my nature to keep on retreating like this. I took the liberty of looking over the Babal investigation reports as well. From now on, you will make no excuse to back down or say that we can't solve this case. I'm sorry about earlier. They won't be beaten. Because my cute little subordinate is going to try his very best, isn't he? Hasn't she patronized me enough already for a lifetime? So this video contains footage from Alabast's immigration screening area.
I really hope there's something in here we can use.
So dramatic. Which minute's footage shall I examine? I want to examine this one, thank you. Doesn't something about this lump's shape strike you as odd?
Huh? Isn't it supposed to be in this shape?
No, there is clearly something odd about the bulge. If only we had the push cart itself, we could compare and confirm my hunch. Next, let's check the footage from Babal's security camera.
I hope it shows us something good. Phooey, there wasn't a single sign of a suspicious person or anything.
That right there is the contradiction.
Huh? Did I miss something?
You didn't miss anything, because there was nothing to miss. However, what is missing is the image of Mr. Cochin entering his own country.
But wasn't his body found in Babal?
It would appear that the true face of our final puzzle has finally revealed itself. Whoa! Ambassador Alba. I thought I had asked you and your group to vacate the premises, Mr. Edgeworth. Actually, I thought I should let you know that this theater sits on my country soil. You've had your fun, and I've enjoyed our little game. I dare say that you've even achieved a new high record. Or a new high score, my bad. I can't read. However, once you've recorded a score, that same game can never be replayed again. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Your game is done, and it's game over. No.
Objection!
Where do you think you're going at this time of night? After admitting to my crime, I was overcome with regret, so I am heading to the airport now to return home. I'm afraid I can't let you do that. There are still too many issues we need to discuss with you. You can't stop me, Mr. Edgeworth, and you know it. Oh. I don't remember your voice anymore. It's gone. It's gone from my body. I'll make up a new one, I guess. Whoa, just a second. Oh, fuck. Please, may I have a little bit of your time, Ambassador Alba? Ambassador Paleno. Even just a teeny tiny bit is fine with me. The already strained relationship between our countries is in a precarious situation, you know. Very well. If you insist, I will play just one more round with them and see what they want. Not that they'll get any further. Ambassador Paleno, Mr. Edgeworth, all I wish is for the normalization of relationships between our two countries. But there is one person standing in the way of that dream. I believe in you. You'll do what's right. Thank you for your vote of confidence.
Now then, what was it you wanted to ask me about? I do have a flight to catch after all. So I'm afraid I'm going to have to limit you to just one question. That's more than enough, because I only have one question anyway. I want to hear your alibi about how you couldn't have killed Mr. Manny Cochin. Oh, I see. You seem to have a good hand this time around. This should be fun. This really is the very last chance we have to bring him down. I won't allow even an atom-sized contradiction to slip by. Ow. Oh, that was her? Oh. That sucks. That explains the pain. Anyways. Sorry, I just realized I think I might have I had my wisdom teeth removed a couple years ago, but they only removed 3 because 1 was still too deep, I think it was, for them to dig out. I think it's breaking through, which sucks. Kind of hurts a tiny bit. Frankly, I don't understand why I am being placed under suspicion here. Under your hypothetical scenario, Mr. Cochin and I were fellow smugglers. But to get... Ow. Okay, now it's actually kind of hurting. Sorry. But to get to the point, I was in Alabas the whole time. So it's simply not possible for me to have killed him in Babal. That is my alibi. So that is your alibi. That's what I said. It's simply not possible for me to have committed a crime in Babal. Now that we have cleared that up, I'd appreciate it if you would move out of my way.
Hold it!
I said hold it! What is it this time? I thought I told you I only allow one question. You did. But you did still have yet to really answer my one question. What? Until you tell us the truth. I will refuse to budge an inch from where I'm standing. Very well. I'll play with you just a little longer. Miles Edgeworth, as my subordinate and representative of this country's prosecutors. Kill him. You are forbidden to lose. Of course, that is something I've understood from the start.
That guy's the one who ordered my father killed, isn't he?
Yes, I believe so.
The goal of the first Yatagarasi was the capture of the smuggling ring's leader. My father and Uncle Bad. Their legacy will live on. Through me. So that's why we've just gotta catch him, okay?
We will, I promise. Now, Ambassador Alba, let's have at the truth now, shall we? No matter how many times you ask, my answer remains the same. Hold on. I think a message came through on my Discord and I gotta look at it. Just double check it's not the important question mark. Don't think so. Okay. Back to business.
Hold it!
It's not a hypothesis. Earlier we proved it to be what happened. Well, let's leave that one to one side for now, because it doesn't change the fact that I have no motive. Oh, so you really have no reason to kill Mr. Cochin? If you want to suppose I had one, then why not? I'll indulge you. After all, this is nothing more than a silly game to me. Even if that's how you see things, I'd appreciate it if you would take me seriously. That's the laugh, I guess. Couldn't do it. I'm sorry, I suppose you are in a bit of a pickle. Very well, a game is no fun if the playing field isn't level. Therefore, I formally claim that I had no motive to kill. Now let's see you disprove it. How can he stand there looking proud when he knows he killed another human being? And I'm not going to stand by and just watch him get away with his crimes. In that case, what motive would I have had to kill my co-conspirator?
Objection!
If you want to know, I believe you did have a motive to kill. It was because Mr. McCochin had betrayed you. But you had your own reason, too. Namely, you wanted to pin the smuggling all on him. Evil begets evil. And because you were trying to test each other, it turned into this mess.
Objection!
Jesus. Forgot your thing was objection. I don't believe you have a bad punch. I'm going to change my voice now because I've heard the objection. I could kind of do it. You have a bad penchant for telling tall tales, Mr. Prosecutor. And if you're not, then I suppose you have some proof to support your argument. I never use guesswork in moving my cases forward. It has been proven that this note was written by Mr. Cochin's hand. Shall we take a look at that? The content of the note is a request calling for the theft of Alabast's Primado statue. By killing him and pushing all of the guilt for the smuggling onto him, you walk away spotless. I believe you understand what I'm driving at. You had more than a few reasons to kill him. Objection. Are you finished with your hypothesizing? Excuse me? Let's suppose I did have a motive. Even so, a motive or a thought alone can't kill. Isn't that right? I didn't expect him to resort to playing the semantics game with me. It appears that this is where the real battle will begin. Now then, if you will excuse me. What? Wait, what? I told you at the very beginning, didn't I? You only get one question. This sucks. Ambassador Alba, if you could please give us just a little bit more of your time. It doesn't matter what kind of man Manny was. He was my subordinate. Which is why I would like for us to figure out the real cause of his death. That is something for Babal to figure out. And something to which I have no relation to. Sorry, his gas is just, Now he's even turning down a request from Ambassador Paleno. I'm very sorry, but it seems that now even my voice falls on deaf ears. There is no need for you to apologize, Ambassador Paleno. I almost said Alba. That is not good. He must apologize forever. Oh, my microphone. We must find some way to stop him from leaving. It seems there is no further objections. In that case, please allow me to return home. Who holded it?
Hold it right there, Ambassador Alba.
I'm surprised they didn't give you a voice hold it. You being a side character and all. Okay.
Like I said, Mr. Edgeworth, the Yanagarasu's legacy will live on through me.
Yes, but how do you suggest we stop him from leaving?
I'm gonna shoot him.
Oh my god, Kay!
Just leave that to me. It's go time. Chick, chick, poof. Now arrest me too. Ambassador Alba, do you recognize this?
No, why should I recognize that tattered old organizer? Wait, where have I seen that before?
That is a clue my father, Bern Faraday, left for us.
Did you say Bern Faraday? Mr. Faraday's organizer. Don't tell me this is the one from the second KG8 incident. The one in which he wrote about the Yatagarasu's key.
Yes, this organizer belongs to the prosecutor you had Miss Yu kill 7 years ago.
I have no idea what you're talking about. You say that like it was related to me.
Inside this organizer, he wrote up every detail of every evil thing you did.
What an amusing little girl you are. What sort of trickery won't work on me?
If you won't believe me, then take a look at this.
And what is that toy there? That's...
This thievery device was used by the Yatagarasu, or rather, by my father. 7 years ago, he used this when he snuck into this embassy.
What?
These 2 pieces of evidence that hold information the Yatagarasu dug up on you. If you go home now, I won't hesitate to send it all to Alabast, right behind you.
Little girl, get to the point.
I want you to go up against Mr. Edgeworth one more time. If you win, then I'll hand over these 2 pieces of evidence.
Karasu, ever the thorn in my side. Kay, does that organizer really contain any information on his dirty dealings?
It's nothing case-breaking, really.
Huh, then it was just a bluff. You're just like my other boyfriend, Phoenix Wright.
Even if it was, we still can't let all this info my father and Uncle Bats found go to waste. Plus, just the existence of Little Thief is troublesome enough for him.
Those 2 pieces, aren't they keepsakes of your father?
It's okay. I believe in Mr. Edgeworth. He'll come out on top in the end.
Kay, you put some bad faith. You have no, this was a bad idea, Kay.
When the going gets tough, someone's gotta be there to put the wind back in your sails.
Oh, come on. Come up with some, like, crow parable or some shit. I don't know. Like, the wind up beneath your wings or some shit. You're the Yatagarasu, for fuck's sake. After all this time, you're still quite the feisty one. I applaud your powerful nature. And so I whip you. Die, Kay. I refuse to lose this too. Ambassador Alba, you won't be returning home until you give us further testimony. How dare you all, barring a person like me. Ambassador Alba, your testimony if you please. All right, but this is the absolute last. Then, even if you use all the power of Ambassador Poleno's office, you won't stop me. I can't let this opportunity Kay has created for me go to waste. The last time I met with Mr. Cochin was here at the Theatrum Neutralis. After that, I was in Alabast the rest of the time, as I stated earlier. In any case, I did not see Mr. Cochin again after that. So you see, there was no time span in which I could have killed him. Wouldn't you agree? Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Huh. Now, since you people were practically begging, I'll allow you to question me.
What an arrogant old man.
Yes, but no matter. We can't allow this chance to escape us. I will warn you, though. You've reached the end of my patience. Waste my time with any inane questions, and you will be punished. So any needless pressing or presenting will hurt our case. No shit. In that case, the only thing you can do is to present the correct evidence. Understood? Of course. I don't intend to let him intimidate me. I know Mr. Cochin was killed before he returned to Babal. In which case, there is only one statement to which I need to present the evidence. Just a second. I'm just going to push my mic away and not hit A for a second while I grab a charger for my phone. It's what I've been using to keep an eye on chat. Oh, my God. Oh, twisting. There we go. And there we go. Ugh. What is happening, Mike? Mike. Alright, we're just gonna present here.
Objection!
Actually, I will be pausing. I need to use the restroom really quick. I'll be right back.
Alright, we've returned. At least now we have. I'd like you to take a look at this picture. It's a rather nice picture, isn't it? It was to commemorate the restoration of relations between our nations. Oh, it's commemorative, all right. One that captures the proof I need to show that it was you who committed the murder. Come again. This is the knife that killed Mr. Cochin. I see you recognize it, as well as you should, for it was you who brought it to this theater. You hid it among the flowers you were to give to the Steel Samurai, meaning that you killed Manny Cochin here at the theater. I'm not doing the laugh. I don't have the energy. I'm sorry, gang. It's time for me to catch my flight.
Objection!
What the fuck? No, stay here! We're not through yet! Oh, my mic. Objection. It's game over for you, Miles Edgeworth. Or Mr. Edgeworth. I just became frenzied for a second. But I thank you for the entertainment. No matter how passionately you orate, the end result will be the same. I won't be returning to this country ever again. That's right. This man is an ambassador, and he has extraterritorial rights. No matter how hard we chase after him, we won't be able to have him tried in court. Yes, that's exactly the face you should be making. The face of a worthless cur. No. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, I must bid you farewell. The courts. Is there no one who can lay a finger on this man? Is this really the end?
Oh my god, not so fast.
Sup, dude? Agent Lang! Sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. Prosecutor. Holy shit, you have so many guys. Get out of my way. My plane is scheduled to take off soon. Sorry, but you're not going anywhere, Mr. Alba. I'm through playing with you people. You can't touch me. If you do, it would spark an international incident, Agent Lang. Sorry, but no, it wouldn't. What? Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Good job holding the fort down here until I got back. Oh, what? Oh, so, Mr. Alba, your diplomatic immunity has just been revoked. What do you mean, revoked? Spare me this nonsense, and let me through. Lang Ji says, before aiming for the throat, chew the neck shield off first. The neck shield? What are we talking about, dude? Are we talking wolves or humans? I'm so lost. Interpol headquarters in the Imperial household of the Kingdom of Alabast. Took a while to get things rolling, but they finally moved on it. The Imperial household? What have you done? You have been relieved of your duties as ambassador, Mr. Alba. What? Haha, fuck you. Effective today, effective right now. You have Mr. Prosecutor's videotape to thank for this.
The video the Atagarasu protected?
You can't be arrested simply because you're an ambassador. In that case, I thought I'd strip you of that title. You underestimated me. A descendant of the founder of the detainment philosophy, Lang Ji. 4,000 years of deeply entrenched connections and the networks around the world have really paid off. Oh, hi, old man. It can't be. I don't believe this. My ambassadorship has been revoked. Looks like you're finally coming to grips with your new standing.
Woohoo! Looks like he's turned docile again.
He is probably in shock from the loss of his shield. What a shame. I had so wanted to use my whip on him. You still can.
Why is this happening to me? I'm just a hard-working, honest ambassador.
Do you really think you can pull that on us now? We've already ripped away the mask and seen you for who you really are, Mr. Alba.
Yeah, I'm not. No, I don't. No, don't have the energy. I'm sorry. Hate his teeth. Still hate his teeth. No, I won't be stopped now.
He still intends to fight us.
So what if I am no longer an ambassador? You still don't have any evidence on me. The fact remains that you cannot arrest me.
I'd expect no less from you, the boss of the smuggling ring. Well, the rest is up to you, Mr. Prosecutor. Understood.
You say that I killed Mr. Cochin in the theater. But even if it's true that there was a knife in my bouquet, I left that bouquet in the theater. So anyone could have taken it from there and used it, right? Besides, the claim that he was killed here itself is odd. After all, wasn't his body discovered in Babal? Are you claiming that I carried his body all the way over there? Preposterous.
I'll be the one to prove whether it's preposterous or not. Ex-Ambassador Alba, are you ready? Because this is no game. This is war!
I killed Mr. Cochin in this theater using a knife that was stuck in my bouquet. I left that bouquet in the theater. Anyone could have taken the knife from there. Besides, Mr. Cochin's body was discovered in Babal, right? There is no way for me to have transported his body from the theater to Babal. Babal. Look, don't you think you've had enough fun with me? You've already stolen my ambassadorship from me. Would you have me surrender too?
Yes. Yes, I would. You have no plans to ever return to this country, isn't that right? Did you know that a bunch of your subordinates are seeking asylum because of you?
As if I care.
Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Boot this guy out of the embassy and we can finally end everything. I know, and I will give it all to see that he leaves in handcuffs. Without the title of ambassador, he is just another witness. Yes, just another witness.
All right, what are we waiting for? Let's get this guy.
And get him good!
I wonder if they understand that all I can do is present evidence to the testimony. These weird children. Oh, excuse me. Ah. Actually, I do believe there was a way to transport the body out of the theater. Perhaps you should give this a look.
What is that supposed to be?
It's footage from a security camera that captured the state of the immigration... Let me try that again. It's footage from a security camera that captured the state of the immigration area.
Shall I congratulate you on getting your hands on it?
Just letting you know that we're not the only ones watching your every movement.
Thank you for the warning.
Now, if you could take a look at this section here. This lump here inside the pushcart. Do you know what's causing it?
Should I? Because I don't.
In that case, allow me to enlighten you. This is the cause of the unnatural lump under the cloth in the pushcart.
Take that!
What is the meaning of this showing me that?
It's to say that the unnatural bulge in the pushcart is Mr. Cochin's body.
I don't know why I couldn't just present a profile. I miss those days.
You had the Steel Samurai wheel his body away from the real crime scene.
What a guess.
but I wonder if you have any evidence to support it. I admit that for now it is but a hypothesis. However, if you can't prove it, then I'm afraid I must be on my way. I don't have any more time to play with you people.
Oh, hold. Hello!
Sorry it took so long, Mr. Edgeworth, sir! I have a cart. Hey, Kay, you want me to push you around like a baby?
Gummy?
Detective Gumshoe! My love! Is that the Steel Samurai's pushcart? I could kiss you right now. Yes, sir! I found it in the open stage area, sir. Hablah! Hablah! So that's where you went. The detective spirit that Pops left me with... oh my god, I can't read. That Pops should be, capitalized or something. The detective spirit that Pops left me with. I thought I'd follow my gut and go with it, sir! So, Mr. Edgeworth, is this worth anything to the case? Yes. It just might play a major role in solving this case, detective. You get a pay raise for once in your fucking life. But something isn't right. I thought that the entire samurai family was in Alabast. Where exactly in the open stage area did you find this pushcart? I just found it lying there at the edge of the stage, sir. Oh? Let me leave that for now and examine the inside, detective. Yes, sir!
Whoop. Oh my god, it's bloody.
It's blood! Yes, this must be Mr. Cochin's blood, which only goes to prove that Mr. Cochin's body was indeed transported by this pushcart. Immediate sweating of bullets. I believe you understand what this means, correct? You killed Mr. Cochin at this theater, and then placed his body inside the pushcart. And then you forced the Steel Samurai to unwittingly move the body for you. Objection. I forced him to move the body into Alabast. What nonsense. Why would I bother to do such a thing? You were scheduled to make a speech in Alabast, meaning it was difficult for you to make a stop in Babal. However, what if you moved the body to Alabast? Because it was your embassy, you could keep an eye on it and tamper with the evidence. And then you smuggled it out of Alabast. No! If I can show how you moved the body from Alabast to Babal, then I win. But you can't! The security between the two countries is incredibly tight. I'll be the one to judge whether I can or cannot prove it. So I ask you to provide us with testimony regarding your movements after your return to Alabast. Miles Edgeworth, have you figured it out? Do you know how the body was moved? To be honest, I have nothing to support my hypothesis at this time. However, I don't believe I've made a mistake in my logic up to this point. Which means there is no question that can't be answered, right? The Primido statue was smuggled successfully through a brief flight through the air. So why shouldn't there be an answer as to how the body was moved? Which means that there must be a logic flaw somewhere I can exploit. After I returned to Alabast, I had my picture taken with the Steel Samurai shaking hands. Then just as I was about to start my speech, the Yatagarasu appeared. I feared for the national treasure, so I raced back to my office. Is that all? Yes, that's all.
Objection!
It looks like you left out a few things, such as the murder of Damask too.
Furthermore, you left out the part about meeting with me in your office. Oh, those trifling matters. I don't believe I need to speak of those things again. I do so hate to waste time.
What? Fuck you. Sorry, I just got a message from someone I need to reply to pretty quick. Here we go.
Is not every life precious? Do you really need me to answer that for you? People like you cannot be allowed to wander freely through society. Then you'd better try hard, because I doubt you'll find a single contradiction.
He's really full of himself, isn't he?
Yes, he is. How can he be so confident at a time like this? Come, don't be shy. Go ahead and ask whatever you'd like.
Okay, I think all I can do, which sucks, is just talk to me.
So why was it only the Steel Samurai? I thought the Pink Princess was also around. The Pink Princess was suffering from a bad hip at the time, and the doctors recommended that she rest.
Wow, so you do have a soft side after all.
The pain of a bad hip. I suppose none of you can really understand how it feels.
I guess.
Oh, so you tend to strain your back as well, huh?
But isn't that just because you're normally all hunched over? You did need to keep up the act no matter what, I suppose. The point of this is not to discuss my back problems. For about 15 minutes after our handshake, I was in my office preparing for the speech.
Hold it!
That Altagarasu was just a trick that you had set up! A most amusing joke. And how do you propose that I set it up? If you really want to know, I can explain it in detail for you. You arranged the spotlights in the rose garden so that when you were to take the stage, the audience would see the Otogarasu's shadow. Oh, that is an interesting tale. Sadly, it has nothing to do with me. What is it going to take for you to fess up to anything? Very well then, let's move on to a different question. After the Otogarasu appeared, what was the state of the rose garden? Everyone took refuge inside the embassy. I even helped with the effort. And then once everyone was inside, well...
Hold it!
What happened after you returned to your office? I don't want to keep on repeating this, however. Upon my return, I had that stroke of bad luck and bumped into Maskman. And I don't want to keep on repeating this either. But his name was Damask too. Who cares what he was called? By the time he got to the Primodo statue that he was supposed to steal, it had already been swapped for the fake. Talk about an unlucky man being bludgeoned to death with a fake statue. Poor Franny.
This Von Karma is really letting her whip fly now.
I think the scary part is her silence while she's doing it. She must be at the limit of her patience as well. But physical attacks are meaningless here. Only evidence will suffice. I can't find a single flaw in his argument. He's not really making an argument. He's just, like, leaving out facts. At this rate, I won't be able to prove that he is actually guilty of anything. Are we finished here? Miles Edgeworth, can you not come up with how the body was moved to Babal? Sir.
Mr. Edgeworth!
Even after proving so much. Is he going to get away with it? I just realized how little you do the actual investigating in this, really. Like, everyone else, I think everyone has to bring you evidence or do something, like, which is good, because, like, minor characters also need to be able to succeed in things, but it also makes Miles feel a little, like, stationary? I don't know how else to explain it. Is this the end? No, Edgeworth, it's not. It's not the end. Oh, yay, a person. It appears that we made it just in time. The baby! It would be a great honor if you would allow me to be your allies in battle. Evil magistrate, it is time for you to pay! Oh, it's so cute though. I do love the samurai baby.
It's the Steel Samurai?
No, you are mistaken, for I am Steel Samurai Daddy, married man of New Old Tokyo. And this is Pink Princess Mommy. I'm bored of this gag now.
Edgy Poo!
I hate everything. The two people that I wanted to see the least. Larry! What are you two doing here? Way to show your gratitude, Edgy! We just want to help! Yeesh! I'm gonna get the bad guy with a single thrust of my samurai. What the fuck, guy? Go away! Edgeworth. He finally is stating his, like, feelings as fact.
How can you be so mean to us, Edgy Poo? All three of us came to lend a hand, and this is how you treat us?
Well, isn't this grand? And I see they managed to find the Iron Infant. Does that really matter right now?
Hey! Is it just me, or is the Iron Infant completely soaked?
Oh yeah! I found him in Babal, but he was in the middle of the pool. Wait a second. Larry, go back to what you just said! Huh? Oh, it appears that we made it! Not that far back! Something about finding the Iron Infant in Babal. And he found it in a pool? I don't recall there being one in Babal. Oh, that! Well, I was in Alabast the whole time, so I have no idea how the Iron Infant wound up in a Babal. So I thought I had lost him in the Rose Garden. But I guess maybe this cute kid can swim, huh? Wait, what? Larry, you lost the Iron Infant in the Rose Garden? Are you sure about that? Yeah, I'm sure. But I found him in...
Hold it!
That's enough, Larry! You may silence yourself forever! Shoots him. The Iron Infant that Larry lost managed to move between the two countries. Furthermore, the Iron Infant was found soaked in the middle of a pool? This is what I've been looking for! It's another smuggling route between the countries! The key to the route that the Iron Infant took to travel from Alabast to Babal is bilateral symmetry. That's right! Its embassy was built with bilateral symmetry in mind! Oh my god! Detective Gumshoe! Yes, sir? There is a location I wish for you to examine post-haste. It is where I believe the route used to smuggle Mr. Cochin's body lies. Does something like that really exist, sir? Oh my god. Body, phone, everything. Stop. Okay. An embassy built on bilateral symmetry meaning that this is where we need to examine. Sure.
Take that!
Yes, sir! I'll be back before you know it! Goodbye, Gumshoe. I love you. It's too late. It doesn't matter now what you do. It's all a waste of time. Fuck off. You will stay here with us and wait. Oh. My love. This is Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth! It's here, sir! There's a reservoir here, just like in the Rose Garden! That stage is actually really nicely built if that pool gets to be there. That's cool. Just as I suspected.
What is it?
Also, super sad that you're just like, it's here, sir, and he's just not a response, just boop, hung up. Fuck off, dude. The two sides of this embassy are mirror images of each other, which means that there is also a pool at the corresponding location on the Babalese side. Mr. Cochin's body was moved into Babal through the pool in Alabast. Objection. Avoiding the topic with a vague answer like that is unbecoming of a prosecutor. If you don't mind, I'd like to see more physical proof if you have any. Technically, that is physical proof, but... The Iron Infant is positively soaked in water. Why do you think that is? Because he was fished out of a pool, and not just any pool, it was the Babalese one. I think it's pretty obvious at this point that what must be true. The water reservoirs in the 2 courtyards are connected. And where is your proof that the 2 sides are connected? The blueprints. Give me blueprints. The proof is right there before your eyes. The half-drowned iron infant. We drowned a baby for proof. It works. But this blasted doll. Oh, he died. Oh no, it's Gumshoe. Hi, Gumshoe. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm back. Hey. Don't tell me you guys figured everything out without me. Aw, Gumshoe, it's okay. You were instrumental in it. We did, thanks to this hero of justice's son. Even if he is just a doll, he managed to help foil the villain. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Look, I don't want to say this, but it's kind of unlikely that the body just happened to have passed on through to Babal. This guy's a doll. He's small, so I can believe it made it, but he has a point. Yes, that's right. I'm glad someone here understands. Mr. Edgeworth, are you going to next propose that a dead body can swim through a pipe? You see, Mr. Prosecutor, our chase after this man is far from over. Agent Lang.
Why is he helping Mr. Alban out now? Wow, I can't read.
He's not. He's realized a flaw in my argument and is helping to move the logic along. Like a good boy. He gets a treat later. In which case, I should return the favor and find an answer. And another thing. Mr. Cochin's body was found in his office in Babal. So what happened to his body after it was transported to the open-air stage? But that was obviously the Autogarasu, dear. Mr. Alba had an accomplice in Babal, remember? You mean Sheena, right? Yes, your girlfriend. With her there, you can see how it was possible to move the body up to the office. Are you seriously claiming that she swam through the connecting pipe with the body?
He's right. Miss Sheena would drown if she did that.
It's hard to imagine that she swam through the connecting pipe. Looks like your hypothesis about how the body was moved is still only half-baked. In the end, it's all just the befuddled musings of an accusatory man. Now then, I believe you should give up and allow me passage. Because from the start, there was no feasible method of transporting the body. What? Fuck you. Mr. Prosecutor, recall Sheena's movements. What was happening in the embassy around the time Miss Sheena was in Babal?
Ooh, if only there was a way to get rid of the water in the pool.
Get rid of the water? Ha! That's it! Now I believe this time we really are done right. Unfortunately for you, it's far from over, Mr. Alba. You are a most persistent man. Are you saying that you've thought of a way to move the body through the water? Move the body through the water? That is completely unrelated to how it was done. Excuse me? The reason I say that is because there wasn't any water there at the time. What do you mean, there wasn't any water? Just what it sounds like, you stupid idiot. Tonight's events made it possible to drain the water, allowing the body to be moved. There is nothing I want, that's not it, there it is, boop. Tonight, the Autogarasu set fire to a variety of locations in the Babalese embassy. In order to put the fires out, much of the reservoir's water was used. Of course, when the water was used, the reservoir's water level went down. If enough water was drained, the connecting pipe could be used to traverse the border. So what? The water level went down? The reservoirs were connected? Does any of this matter? Yes, it fucking does. Fuck off. I hate this. You can't prove any of this. I never felt like... I think the only case that I felt like this was a problem was like the final case of Justice for All, but that felt very organically made because Phoenix was balancing the line between protecting Maya and getting the killer convicted. And so, like, it made sense that he would have to make the prosecutor, as well as himself, really be this pedantic. But I don't remember any other cases fucking doing this, and this is annoying as balls.
Like, you don't have to fucking... If there's enough evidence, it doesn't, like, circumstantial evidence can prove things. It just if it's so surmounting, it's so obvious. Like, my God. Pretending to be ignorant won't work with me. We both know what kind of situation we're in right now. Even in a game, there comes a critical, game-changing moment. A moment in which you hit a wall that you must overcome in order to beat the game. I haven't lost yet. I found the route you used to smuggle the body, and that route will lead you to lead to your defeat. Even if all the water was used by the firefighting effort, you still can't really call that a smuggling route. I know that. I should have figured you would notice. Hey, Mr. Alba, how deep are those pools anyway? I'll have you know those pools are extremely deep. And there are no ladders or footholds along the walls either. It would be difficult for Sheena to hold the body and climb up out of the pool. Ladders or footholds along the walls. There was no need for such things. What do you mean? If one were to carry were to use a certain something, they would go up or down in the pool at will. Oh, looks like you got an answer already. Well, what are you waiting for, Mr. Prosecutor? Enlighten us already. The way in which Miss Sheena and the body were able to rise up to ground level. There was a way to control the water level that could be the way the body was moved. This was used so that the body and Miss Sheena could move up and down the pool. A leaf.
Take that!
Mr. Alba used the fountain spouts in a manner of speaking. He used the fountain spouts? How so? The water level in the pools can be controlled by opening and closing the spouts. Miss Sheena and the body were lifted upward by their buoyancy in water. The fire on the Bobbleys' side and the firefighting effort. These were set in motion all for the sake of smuggling Mr. Cochin's body. Shall I show you where the final destination of my train of logic leads? First, Mr. Alba closed the fountain spouts in advance in preparation of things to come. Then, he took the pushcart that was brought to the rose garden and pushed it along with the Iron Infant and Mr. Cochin's body into the pool. At this time, Miss Sheena was busy conveniently starting the first fire in Babal. Then, she made for the open-air stage pool to wait for the firefighting effort to begin. When the firefighters used the water in that pool, the water level went down. That must have been terrifying, because she could have gotten, like, sucked out into the things. And by the time the fire was put out, the pipe between the two pools was exposed. This is when she pushed the pushcart from Alabas to Babal. Once that was accomplished, Mr. Alba simply opened the fountain spouts once more. And the water level rose up to its original level, along with Miss Sheena and the body. After that, Miss Sheena used the pushcart to carry the body up to the Secretariat's office. There in an elevator in the embassy, after all. There is an elevator in the embassy, after all, so you see, even with her small frame, she could have easily transported Mr. Cochin's body. And that wraps up my thorough explanation of how the body was moved. Well, ex-Ambassador Alba, we're so petty with that. What do you think? Not so untouchable without your precious extraterritorial rights to protect you, are you?
I knew you could do it, Mr. Edgeworth. Way to fight back.
You accuse me of moving the body across country lines. But when you get down to the nitty-gritty, you don't have what it takes to indict me.
The nitty-gritty? What does the old man want now?
Proof. Oh, excuse me. I believe is what he seeks. Yes, proof. Without any, who is to say whether or not any of what you said really happened?
He wants proof? What are you gonna do, Mr. Edgeworth?
There is no need to worry. I've had all the proof we need all along. The body wasn't the only thing to go through the pool's connecting pipe tonight. Just as Detective Gumshoe found the pushcart in the open-air stage area.
So too did I find one other item there. And that piece of evidence is what will prove that the pools were the smuggling route. This was another thing that was smuggled over to Babal's open stage area. Where is it? There you are. Hi.
Take that!
And what exactly is this? You have no idea, do you? This little piece that I found on the Bobbly's side will be your undoing. A guitar pick? Would you care to explain how that is going to do me in, as it were? Much to your chagrin, perhaps. But this is not a guitar pick. What? This is something I found at the open-air stage, which was transported with the body. I naturally Sorry, hold on. I know what we're gonna do, is we're proving that this knife lost that pick, and that's why it's a thing. But the pick... Oh no, he might have stabbed him before this picture was taken. Never mind. I naturally assumed you would recognize it, since you took a photo with it after all. But since you don't, allow me to show you what this fragment from the stage area belongs to.
Take that!
Let us take a good look at the murder weapon that was used to kill Manny Cochin. On the handle of this knife there is a beautifully blooming flower. However, it would appear that it's missing a single petal. Now let's see what happens when we try to fit this pick in that open slot.
Wow. It's a perfect fit! Hooray!
I assume that the petal must have fallen off of the flower during Mr. Cochin's murder. And then it was accidentally placed into the pushcart along with Mr. Cochin's body. That's an interesting story, nothing more. Oh, I assure you it's more than just a story. Because for some odd reason, this flower petal was wet when I found it. It was wet, you say? Yes, and the only place it could have gotten wet from is the open-air stage's pool. Now I ask you, how did a part of the weapon which was smuggled into the theatre wind up in the open-air stage area on the Bobbly's side of the embassy? I don't think I need to waste any words explaining this, as this petal explains it all for me. It proves that someone went from the Rose Gardens pool on through into Babal. Impossible! The people of Zangfa have been waiting to see you face to face, Mr. Alba. I'll tell everyone back home we'll be there soon. You should be happy. Why? Why? It's a little late to be asking that question. You should have known from the very beginning, when you took your first life. No matter how you may plot, or how you may try to cover it all up, you can never hide from your crime and what you've done. Because we're here to see it to it, that justice is served to people like you. You can't call what you've given a perfect argument.
You know, I don't think this guy is going to ever admit to his wrongdoings, Mr. Edgeworth. Because he values himself above all else. People who can't be negotiated with, or people who refuse to admit when they've lost, I don't believe those kinds of people really exist because everyone breaks eventually.
You're right. In that case, I have no choice but to use all of the evidence I have. I'll use it all until he breaks under the weight of his crimes. Mr. Alba, I request that you testify once more. This really will be the end of the line. Oh my god. Okay. That is where I'm going to cut it. I will finish this next time. And we'll probably go right into Game 2 as well. Which I have not personally played before. I've seen playthroughs of it. Not like full, but highlight playthroughs. I'll be so glad when this case is over. I am so done with Kirkus. Fuck Kirkus. And I hope everyone stays safe and sane. We have a Discord. If you want to join, it's in the description. Luke will be streaming Saturday morning, and Edgelord will be streaming Sunday morning. Really early, like 5 a.m. Mountain Standard, kinds of early. That's usually when they happen. And I'll see you guys again next Wednesday.
probably around noon or 1. It just depends on what goes on. Like today I had that film shoot, so I was late. But either way, thank you guys so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys next week. Stay safe. Stay healthy.